Welcome to the Goof and Goober Show, the podcast that brings you laughter, insight, and the quirkiest conversations. Join your hosts, Matthew and Regan, as they embark on a delightful journey through the realms of pop culture, humor, and everyday shenanigans. So, buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster of fun and entertainment. Let's dive into the world of laughs with Matthew and Regan on the Goof and the Goober Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 33rd episode of the Goof and Goober Show. I am here with my boy, my main man, my right-hand man, my dude, Regan.
Yeah.
Regan, how was your weekend? How are you?
Hey, it was a wild week. It was a fun weekend I had with the Crown College Polars. It was my first time ever being out there and being the unofficial hype man. And I lost my voice, that's for sure. But I had a blast. Those guys can play. If you guys are from the Crown College Polars and you're watching this, guys, that was a heck of a game you played. It was a sad loss, 100%. I feel you on that. But this is a huge step for yourselves. And I would not tear yourself down from it. I would try to build yourself up from it, because this is a pivotal point for you guys that you can make a huge impact, not only for this season, but seasons to come beyond your generation. So keep fighting the good fight. Keep going. Keep pushing. You guys are killing it.
Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, big shout out to Regan. Came out. He was freaking energetic. Speaking about Crown College football, we've got a special guest here, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, who can't see the beautiful face with a Budweiser can up in the top left of his screen, that is his sister's.
Not his.
We've got ourselves Coach Logan Anderson. Big round of applause for Coach Anderson here. We're going to have just a...
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys.
Sorry. Guys, stop.
Guys,
Stop.
Stop. It's not that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a deal.
Hey.
Logan, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to episode 33. We're going to be talking about the Manti Te'o Untold Stories documentary, and then afterwards we'll be talking about Ashoka episode 4. Logan, quickly, as we get started, for those of you who weren't here for the pre-show, Logan Anderson, he introduced himself, but give us like a 2-sentence introduction of who you are, what you're about, things like that, really quick. Go.
I'm thankful to be on this podcast. I'm Logan Anderson. I'm the assistant QB's coach at Crown College. This is my second year at Crown. I'm also a student here, being a secondary education major.
Perfect. Now, Logan, you've never been on the podcast before, right?
No, this is my first time ever being on a podcast.
This would be the first time you're ever on a podcast. Okay. So I don't know if you've watched the podcast very much, but we do a little something when we have new people on.
Have you heard about this?
Have you heard about it?
I have an idea. I think I've watched a couple of podcast episodes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What episodes?
I listened to the one where Trevor was on the podcast. That was a lot of fun to listen to. Hearing them talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You guys are talking about that episode.
That's right. That is right.
Yep. And then I think I just watched you guys' one last week. I think so. I know a little bit about the show.
Okay.
So, since you know a little bit about the show, can you tell us what we do with every new member on the show?
I could not tell you. I really couldn't.
Okay. Well,
We
Regan
did
and
it on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
we did do it on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but that's okay. We'll just have to remind him. So
Come
Regan
on.
and I have a tradition together. We love each other so much, and we just like hanging out with each other. But most importantly, we like to jerk it together.
We like jerking off together.
Yep. And so naturally, we would like for you to jerk it with us together on the podcast.
But the real
In
question,
front of everybody.
we always have to ask this: have you ever
True.
jerked off before?
No, this will be my first time ever.
First time ever jerking it. Wow, that's impressive.
I think I've seen other people do it, but I haven't done it myself personally.
You watched other people jerk it?
Yeah, I think I saw a video on like a TikTok or something where someone was doing it on on TikTok Live or something like that.
Did you enjoy watching them jerk on it?
It was interesting. I never seen someone do it in that kind of way before. There's a new different motions. I just don't know how it all works.
Yeah, like being in 2023, people do have different ways of
motions of like jerking off, and it's a whole new experience that a lot of people don't really know about, and it's riveting. It feels so good. Like I don't know how, like oh my gosh, it feels so good when you friggin' just jerk one off with your friends.
Yeah, it's true.
Woo! I don't know what
group jerk sesh is way better than a single jerk sesh.
Oh yeah,
and so
100%.
Logan, this is going to be an all feels kind of moment. Whatever you feel in the moment, that's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to jerk it to. And so we're going to get some music going. And if you want to stand up out of your seat, get some space. We're all going to stand up here. We're all going to stand up. I'm going to raise my desk here because I got a standing desk.
Golly.
And then I'm going to pick.
I can't wait.
Everybody, put your hands up in the air.
I can't wait to freaking jerk.
Put your hands up in the air, Regan. Hands up in the air. Put your arm over.
This is as far as they can go.
Get a good stretch. Get a little twist in there. Other side.
Oh.
You better take this stretch seriously, Regan.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
All right. I think we're ready to jerk it. Let's freaking jerk off, boys.
Give it to me. Come
Let's
on.
get this.
I'm ready.
All right.
Oh.
Here we go.
I'm begging you to put your loving hand out, baby. I'm begging you to put your loving hand out.
Come on, Logan.
I'm begging you to put your loving hand out, baby. I'm begging you to put your loving hand out.
I feel so good. Logan, tell me how you're feeling.
Feeling good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the drop. Fantastic. The drop. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Don't you just love jerking it?
Oh, I'm jerking it.
Jerk it, man. Oh, gosh. Okay.
That was the best one I've ever had. That was the best jerk I've ever had.
Never felt more alive in my life. Jerking it with Logan. Logan Anderson.
Usually,
that's kind of funny. I know a guy named Logan Anderson, actually, now thinking about it. My word, I can't believe I completely forgot about it.
Alrighty.
Wow.
Well, let me just tell you something.
Doesn't get you freaking pumped.
I've jerked off with Regan. I've jerked off with your sister.
Yep.
Trevor,
Your brother?
my brother,
Your wife?
my wife.
I didn't know
Sometimes
you
I
were
just
with
jerk
your
it in the
wife.
middle of the. Sometimes I jerk it in the middle of the living room.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was the best. That was the best jerk I've ever had.
I felt so
Because
alive with you, Logan.
I was feeling his energy.
Mm-hmm. I felt the same thing. Oh my gosh.
He was jerking me off.
Dude,
oh my gosh.
you jerked me off pretty good, dude. You're pretty good, Logan. You're pretty good.
Pretty freaking good.
Oh
Well,
gosh.
ladies and gentlemen, that's our honorary jerk sesh. We jerk it. We don't care who we jerk it with. Just boys being boys jerking it off together in front
That's
of
right.
people with Logan and the whole fam bam. So we're gonna get into our second. We're gonna get into our second segment. Regan, I don't think he's ready for this.
It's
At all.
this is the ringer dinger, is what we call this bad boy.
We're gonna ring your dinger. All right?
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so freaking good. We're gonna ring your dinger.
Oh
So-
yeah, we're gonna friggin' ring it so hard.
What we're gonna do, Logan, I've got one thing I really, really want to hear. But what we'll do is we're gonna set up the stage here, if you will. You know what the stage is. Front left, stage right. Okay.
Right.
We're gonna set up the stage. Okay. And we're gonna put you through some scenarios.
Oh
okay?
yeah.
We're gonna put you through some friggin' scenarios. Now, what I
Narrated
want-
by Narrated
Now-
by me and Matthew.
Yeah, narrated by me and Matthew. So Regan, you could play Jezebel. Okay, your name's Jezebel.
Okay. Jezebel.
And then Logan, you're gonna be Logan. Okay? Now the premise of this story is that Logan and Jezebel are together. They're a relationship. They're boyfriend, girlfriend.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, Logan, what I want you to do is I want you to essentially break up with Jezebel. But the only thing you can break up with her about is by telling her that your dad died. It's the only thing you get. It's the only thing you get. Her name's Jezebel. You have to call her. Your dad's dead. And you have to break up with her.
So
Now-
the premise is, do I have to? So the sole reason that I have to break up with her is because her dad died, or because my
Your
dad died. Sorry.
But
Sorry.
that's not the only. I mean, that's just what I've given you. You got to play off of it. Yep.
Mhm.
So you got to make it up as you go.
Now, Matthew, quick questions. I just
Yep,
need
go
to
ahead.
know what situation we're kind of in. Is this a phone call? Are we meeting up? Are we getting dinner?
Phone call for sure.
Phone call. Phone call
Big
for
time
sure.
phone call.
Okay. And my character, am I from the South, from the Midwest? Where am I from?
You're from the South and you're pregnant, actually.
Okay.
Yep. So
Okay,
we're
I
gonna
can play
start
that off.
here. Yep, we're gonna start here. We're gonna go in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Action.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hey, baby, how's it going? I have missed you so much. Baby Nathaniel he's missing you. He's kicking me right now.
You know,
Oh
hi,
my
hi,
gosh.
hey,
Here,
babe.
listen to
you know-
him. Listen to him. Listen to him. Baby.
Babe, can
Did you hear
can
that?
babe,
gosh.
please,
Get
Babe.
over there.
babe.
You see, Nathaniel. Oh my gosh. Baby, you have no idea how much I want you so bad over here. When are you coming down, babe?
Babe, you need to probably close. You probably need to close your door.
I'm feeling so bad right now. Oh, what's going on, babe? Sorry, there's so much going on right now. I have no idea what's going on.
Look, I just got a bad phone call, okay?
Oh no. Oh, I hate those bad phone calls. I get those all the time. You have no idea. Sometimes my dad calls me. I'm like, leave me alone. I just want to just hang out with my boy. You know, I just miss you so much. I just want to
Well,
rip you up to
here's the thing, though, is that,
you know that.
well, here's the thing, is
I
that,
miss you. I love you so much.
babe, can I please say my
Yeah, of course,
PDQs,
honey.
please?
Hey! Don't give me that tone. Why? What's going on? Why are you giving me this tone? This
Look,
isn't. This is why. Why are you acting like this? This is unprecedented of you to act like this towards me. I am your honey boo. Your one and only. There's like no one else but me in your life right now. What in the world could be so important that you need to make me feel this way? I have no idea why. I am going through so much emotions right now. Having your child.
well, look,
I have something to confess. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this to you. Oh, honey. Honey,
yeah,
I don't know if I want to tell you this right now.
just tell me.
Oh, baby. It's 9/11. Did you hear?
Yes, I do know it's 9/11.
You know what that means?
Yeah,
22 years ago, on this day, I was born. Oh my gosh. And you haven't even wished me a happy birthday.
I did. What are you talking about? I put it on Instagram. Are you kidding me? I put it on Instagram. I put it on
read
Snapchat.
it for me. Read me what you said then. Read me what you said. Pull it up.
I said, and I quote, "Happy freaking birthday to my one and only. How I cannot wait for our future together."
Yeah.
And you're gonna accuse me of not putting it on there. You're really gonna do this to me.
You're so sweet. I love you so much. You're so sweet. Oh, yeah.
Now, can I please say? Can I please say?
After that, I mean, you and me were together pretty much forever, right? Hang on. I am getting a phone call real quick. Wait, that's for me, right?
Yeah. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, babe, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, sweetie. I'm so sorry.
What you been doing? I heard you. Your sister said you were screaming.
No, I'm fine. It's just I'm on the phone with my uncle, and he's just yelling at me because like I haven't.
It's your uncle?
Been, yeah. So I'm just gonna have to.
Well, tell him he's a joke.
You told me on hold. You scared the call, babe. You did. You didn't put me on hold.
Let me call my.
Who is this guy?
Are you kidding me?
Is it your uncle?
No, yeah, that's my uncle. Hang on, I'm just gonna hit this.
Oh my goodness. Are you kidding
Buddy,
me?
is that you?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna have to hang up on you. I just gotta talk to my uncle. I'll call him real quick. No. I'll call you back real quick, honey. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. Hey, honey, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was that guy?
That's just my uncle. Like I said, honey, you don't have to worry about anything. Okay,
ring.
He's calling
You just
me
gotta
right now.
He's calling.
I'm just
hang
gonna
up
call
on
you.
that. Just hang up on that.
I have to answer him.
It's
He's
your
so
uncle.
pissed, baby. Don't worry, okay?
Your uncle's acting like a lunatic.
Honey, let me handle this.
All right, okay. All right.
Hey, baby, I am so sorry. For some reason, our phones got just like switched out with a bunch of guys or something like that. I have no idea what was going on, and it was really weird.
Who was that? Don't think
I have no idea. Are you gonna believe me or some just random guy on the phone? My word.
You know what? I
am holding your child in me. What do you think is happening right now?
You know what? Can I get 5 minutes to get my say in this?
Yes, of course, baby. Anything you want. I am all yours forever and ever. This is one of the things that I was thinking about when you had posted that Instagram post today. I was like, man, this is the man of my dreams. Like, I cannot deal with like not having him around. If he wasn't around right now, I don't know what I would do. He is such a good man. And this child that I'm bearing for him, if I couldn't be around with him without this child, I don't know what I'd do. Oh my goodness. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just a wreck right now. There's so much there's so much emotions going into my body right now. I just think I need to see a doctor. Baby, I need your help. Sorry.
And I'm
Oh
willing
my
to
gosh.
help.
Oh, baby,
But
thank you
I
so
got
much. Oh, I love this so much about you. Yes. Okay, we can go see a doctor. I don't know. I can call somebody right now. Okay, hang on. Let me put you on. I'm just
no,
getting a
no,
call
no.
real
What?
quick. I'm just gonna have to
What
hang
the?
up on you real quick. Ring, ring, ring,
And
ring.
scene.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I got a couple different points, but Regan, can you? Do you have a couple points that you'd like to
Yeah,
present?
like the main thing I think happened there is that you didn't insert yourself enough, that you just said, I have to break up with you, Logan. That would have been probably the best option for you in this scenario. And then and just you just kind of have to do that. If I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know. It's just kind of a sad situation.
Can you give us your
that
play-by-play there, Logan? What you were thinking and your strategy moving forward?
Well, look, I did not expect. I knew coming into this. I seen Regan do this before with the ringer ding. I knew that he tried to just talk as much as possible. And my game plan was to call him out for cheating on me. I was gonna show him the receipts and everything. And I just never got to that point. I was getting so close, but he always had to say something. He had to say something, and I was so close. I was gonna say, look,
First off, Logan, you told her that you made a post for her. That was a horrible mistake. You never say that on her birthday, especially when you're about to break up with her. You say, you know what? That was your biggest opportunity right there to say, like, I didn't. You know why? Because I freaking hate you. And then that's where you just
And then you also said, I just take a quick note, is that she was going on her anxiety rant, and you said, oh, I can help you with that.
Oh yeah, that was a huge mistake right
just,
there.
big mistakes.
I did. Oh, man, I did not expect it to go that far. I thought I was just going to say, let it slide real quick and then just say what I was going to say. But it is what it is. It's tough. It's tough.
Well, good. Regan, did you have any scenario that you wanted him to go through?
I wanted to give a scenario with okay, Logan, you are a coach at a football team. Your team is down. Matthew, what's the score?
Let's say they're down by 1 score.
You're down by 1 score. Okay.
It's halftime?
It's halftime. You have to give the most inspirational speech of your lifetime to these kids because they are defeated. They feel like they can't come back.
Wait, they're not down by 1. Let's say they're down by 30.
Okay, yeah, 30.
30 to 30.
That's more believable.
37 to 30.
Okay. 37 to 30, that means they're down by 7.
Nope, they're down by 30. Do math.
37 to 30?
7 to 30?
Oh, you
7
said
points to 30?
7 to 30. Okay. That's
37 to 30?
Okay, yeah, okay.
37 to 30 is what I meant. You can do 30 to 0. I don't care. 30 to 0.
Okay.
Well, that's the dynamic, coach. You can't just
30
say.
to 0. 30
All
to
right,
0.
we're going 30 to 0. We're going 30 to 0. You have to give the most inspirational speech you've ever given in your life to get these kids back on board to win the state championship. It is the state championship, and
yep. And the mascots are one of the mascots is a leprechaun. And what's the other one? What's the other one, Regan? Go ahead.
A goat.
A goat. Give me 1 second here. Regan, look at your chat really quick. And then Logan, we'll give you a couple seconds to think of what you're going to say. Look at your chat.
I saw it. I see it. It's going to be you have to make this like as inspirational as possible to get these boys back in the game to win the state championship. Okay. You got to focus in here. This is a huge moment in your career, because if you don't win this game, they're cutting you this year, and it's gonna be rough. You won't be able to provide for your family. Your wife is gonna leave you. Your kids are gonna laugh at you for the rest of your life. If you lose this game, you will be the laughing stock of the whole world.
All right, Coach. All right, Coach. What do we got?
All right, men.
Yeah, Coach.
Stand up. Stand up.
Yeah. Hold on. All right. Men, this first half was not what we pictured. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
A couple things did not go our ways. First play of the game can't have a freaking holding penalty in the first freaking play of the game.
It was their fault.
Shut, brothers. Shut. I don't want to hear it.
That was Regan. That was Regan.
Look, man. These guys came into this game expecting a blowout. They expected it, and what are they getting? They're getting a freaking blowout right now. But what they don't understand is that they think this game is over.
Yeah. I'm going to rocket to them. Oh.
Never forget the story of David and Goliath. None of the Israelites wanted to take on.
Coach, I got a quick question.
What? I don't want to hear it. I am sick and tired of your business. Let me stick your team like 1 and 2. All right. I am sick and tired of hearing everybody say, "Oh, Champlin has no chance. Oh, the goats are going to get swamped by the leprechauns. Their luck is going to keep flowing all the way to the state championship." Well, what I'm saying is that we're going to buck those freaking leprechauns back all the way to Sundale. Am I right?
Well, Coach, I thought it was more so because your wife won't leave you after the game, because I heard there was a rumor going around that your wife was going to leave you if you didn't win the game. And like, I thought it was a rumor, but Matthew said it was true. Is it true?
You know what, guys? Coach is right. If we plan to win this game, it's on us. It's on us.
Regan, I'm gonna have to ask you to take your pads off, and I'm gonna have to ask you to live with your family.
I'm not. I'm just the team manager, Coach. I don't have any pads.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Coach, I mean, I'm getting paid. Am I getting paid though?
No, son, you're not.
Well, the district,
all right, man. We have
district...
5 minutes to get back on the field. All right, and when we get back out there, it is every second of the second half is a championship play. Remember that. All right? Now let's go kick some leprechaun ass.
Whoa!
I'll do my thing.
That's right, guys. That's exactly what Coach said. If we want to win this game, it's on us. It's on us, okay? It's on us.
Oh. Wow. Way to go, Logan. We can go over a few details. Matthew, what do you think? Any comments?
A couple different things I wanted to talk about. So first things first, you kind of lost track of what you were talking about there for a second. You seemed a little distracted.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we really got to go in the second half and we got to crush it, you know what I mean? We have got to have a uniform speech, you know what I mean? Like no distractions, straight to the point.
Yeah.
You know, and
you got to be concise and know what you want.
Exactly. And you know what they say, Coach said it's on us if we want to win this game. And I just wanted to show a video really quick. Because I mean this just backs my point on all of it. It really does.
Mhm. Okay.
And so let me just pull this up here.
Make sure that Logan can see the video. Make sure you can see
I'll
it.
make sure he can see it too. I'll make sure he can see it. Here we go. And here we wait, hold up. Where is it? Window 2. There we go. Here we go. You guys can see it?
Yep.
Can you, shoot.
closed.
Sorry guys. Okay, window. Let's put this full screen.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, here we go.
Notes for you, Matthew, after this.
Here we go. And this will prove my friggin' point.
We can't hear it.
I mean, not that part, but like everything else at the
We
beginning.
can't hear it. I didn't hear anything.
Oh.
Logan, did you hear anything?
I did not know.
Oh, no. Okay, here, hold up. 1 second. Entire screen. Screen 3 share.
Make sure you're sharing the sound.
Can you hear it? Can you hear that?
I'm not hearing anything. No.
It's not me then. Screen. Let me try this again. Let's go. Copy into paste. There we go.
Oh boy, this is just a freaking wreck right
It's
now.
a freaking crap show, man. And that's okay. It's our freaking show, man. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me know if you can hear it.
Guys,
You heard that?
Yep.
Coach is right.
Okay.
Guys, Coach is right. If we want to win this, it's on us. Shut the fuck up.
It's not
Whoa,
Everything-
whoa.
everything before that. Everything before that. You hear that message?
I mean, he had.
Coach is right. If we want to win this, it's on us.
It's on us.
Shut the fuck up.
And then
I mean,
The
you
others-
can't. You have to disregard everything after. I mean, after that.
yeah.
But like everything he said up to that point was so right. It was
It's so
so
good.
right. It was so
It
good.
was so-
Like I would run through a freaking wall for that kid.
Yep.
If he freaking
True.
came to my house and he gave me that freaking motivational speech, I'd freaking run.
Whoa. We got a little
Matthew,
Can you say hi?
yeah, she's a little nervous with Logan here. Logan, you gotta look at her. You can't look down. And when you're looking at babies, they like to be looked at, and you just gotta smile at them and give them a little sneaky little. Logan, do you know how to treat children?
What's that?
Do you know how to treat children?
I haven't been really around many. Just because I was the
Yeah.
youngest cousin. I've been the youngest cousin in my family, so I wasn't ever really around. I was always the youngest kid in the family. So
So you don't
Coach
really
is
know.
right. If we want to win this game, it's on us.
It's true. So friggin' true. Oh my gosh.
So
you got it
friggin'
So
true.
friggin' right. Dude,
I'd run
man.
through a freaking brick wall with it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So that's a couple points there. In terms of the ringer dinger, you just went through a little bit of the ringer dinger.
Yep.
You went through. We jerked it together. We jerked
Yep.
off.
Oh yeah.
Ringer dingered. Ringed your ding.
Ringed it, dinged it.
Now we're going to talk about some Manti Te'o and the untold stories of Manti Te'o.
Back in 2012 era.
Mhm.
Era.
2012
10
era.
years ago. Holy smokes. That is
Yep.
10. That's more than 10 years ago.
That's 11 years ago, dude. Long time.
Holy smokes. Dude, I
But if
remember
you guys
that
haven't,
going on.
if you guys haven't seen it, Manti Te'o, we're going to talk about it. But Netflix has a documentary series called Untold, and Manti Te'o's is the Untold, the girlfriend who didn't exist. It's a sports documentary, a scandalous investigation. It came out in 2022. It's a 2-part series. It kind of dives into the details of linebacker Manti Te'o and how he has to adjust to his life at Notre Dame, how he attracted some attention from the NFL, in a little bit of a catfishy situation. And so we're gonna jump
Ooh.
into it. Logan, without spoiling any of the show, give us your non-spoiler review of the show and give us a rating out of 5.
Going into it, I kind of knew the story of what was happening, what happened to Manti. It's a serious issue. It used to be a very serious issue back then. It's still a serious issue to this day. And just going, being a fan of the NFL and just seeing a documentary talking about an NFL player who's going through a lot in this story. And it's easy to say that these people aren't human, and they should just be able to move on from some things. But I think it's clear that some things you just can't move on. I think it clearly shows Manti's portrayal of being human.
Quick question now, Logan. Have you ever been catfished yourself?
I have not.
If you were in Manti Te'o's spot, would you have fallen for it?
Probably not. I don't want to spoil much of the show, but some of the signs I probably would have figured out right away. But again, it was a different time,
It's true.
I feel like I probably wouldn't at that point. Probably not with some things that are already available at the time to kind of like figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, if you're wondering, also people in the chat are asking who the guy is on right now. We have with us Logan Anderson, Crown College football coach. Good guy. I wrestled him. You guys can decide who won the wrestle match. It's up to you guys. Yeah. So if you like, because what I understand from the documentary series, because it's a 2-part series, pretty much an hour each series. Manti had no idea what catfishing was. So if you had no idea what catfishing was, and did you hear the woman speak, or I guess what's his face speak? And you saw the series, so if you heard that voice, would you have been bamboozled?
I definitely think it's a very convincing voice. If they talk about how the FBI, I feel they could never have figured that being a woman's voice, and so yeah, that's just the culture he grew up with. He didn't know what that was, and that's what he grew up on. If I was in a world where I didn't know what catfishing was, I feel like there would be a point where I'd be like, something's up. I feel like something would be up.
D Snuts in the comments section said that the guy on the bottom, which is Regan, definitely won. Can't see the top left guy having the sheer athleticism to take you down. Logan, how do you feel about that statement? And good comment, D Snuts.
Yeah, D Snuts is what.
No,
is
D
it?
Snuts.
No, it's D Snuts.
That's what I said. D Snuts.
Oh, okay.
It's up to your own interpretation. I never wrestled in my life. My friends always told me to join wrestling. I never chose to do it, so I never came into it thinking that I was like a great wrestler. But the footage will do it justice.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know anything about Coach Logan Anderson, this guy has got the most voluptuous calves I have ever seen.
Yep.
The most beautiful calves. Logan, you want to give us a little sneak shot for the give us a little
Yeah, why don't you lay back on the bed? Lay back. Oh,
look at those bad boys, and give us a little. Oh man,
baby, I gotta screenshot that later tonight. You know what I mean?
We got it on the live feed, but yep. So we were advocating that Logan just use his calves to wrestle Regan, but he didn't think about it in the middle of the fight, which is unfortunate. So we're gonna have to get a round 2 going with these two. What
do you think about a live stream wrestling match between me and you, Logan?
I can't say I've had that idea, but if if that's something people are interested in seeing, then we can work things out.
Yeah, let us know if you want to see the live stream of
D Snuts also made a comment. He said maybe he could take you in a race, but not wrestling. Ooh, so he's saying Logan can beat Regan in a race
if he's got the calves. That could be
he
true.
He does have the calves. Those things are
that's a
bouncy.
good comment right there. That's a freaking comment right there.
A lot of people say that the calves add a form of athleticism to me, but I find that it hinders more than anything.
It's hinderous.
Yes.
It like gets in your way and stuff.
Yes. When I run, my legs kind of lean towards my
They slap against your other leg.
Yeah, so I feel like it slows me down, honestly. So.
What about your third leg? Do you have a third leg?
I do not have a third leg.
Okay, I just wanted to.
It's
make
micro.
Sure. Like, okay.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's fine. It's okay. We'll disregard that one.
Just
he's got
disregard.
His calves get in the way because they slap together on his other legs, and it makes it
like
hard.
Touch when you're running, like you don't like it when they touch together, like this.
It does get annoying after a while, yeah, because then it's like, gosh, these things are so big that they're touching each other, man. That's weird.
Yeah, I always have that problem.
How did you put your game pants on for coaching? My heavens, those pants are so tight.
Yeah, I don't find that much of a problem with it. It's more of getting the ankle through the pant leg. That's the hard part for me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I should have been
weird.
putting my socks on because I had to pull it up past my calf.
Yeah. Logan, why don't you give us like a full 360 look of you right there, okay? Why don't you stand up, give us a little 360. Let's see that booty.
No, the calves. We want to see the calves.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those bad boys.
Yeah, and then...
Gosh, I kept trying here. I'm losing balance here.
Okay.
Careful,
okay.
Logan! Oh, yeah,
my
gosh. Baby. Oh, that bad boy's sticking out like a freaking twig.
You know those pecan crackers? The nutcracker things?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
He could probably freaking use that with his
You can probably
calves.
freaking crack some nuts in that freaking thing. That's for sure. Oh, yeah. Okay, back on the
ladies and gentlemen,
Manti Te'o.
back to the Manti Te'o thing. What's your rating out of 5 on the documentary?
I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
What didn't they do well? What do you think they didn't do well?
I feel like they tried to almost try and shine some limelight onto the catfisher themselves.
Okay.
When in reality, this is someone who, sure, they have their problems, but it's someone that ruined a man's career. And whether he was supposed to be a first round pick. Maybe he did research and that didn't happen. And it's just something that he dedicated his life to this person that just didn't exist. And then the show, I feel like kind of is like, sure, you get their side of the story, and they're like, they say, "Oh, I still feel bad," but they still account. There's the sense of like, there's a sense of no regret in some aspect. I feel like when I watched it.
Okay.
So you think they put some limelight on the catfisher?
Yeah, I believe so.
And trying to paint her out as like it's okay, it happened type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I'd agree.
This is my huge question after watching the whole thing. I mean, are we getting into spoilers, Matt, right now, or what?
I think we should do a spoiler warning before we jump too deep.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna give my before I give my whole spoiler thing, and yeah, that would be spoiling. I give this was a fun documentary. I love that it was a 2-part series. I love that you get a whole story of Manti and basically his whole career perspective from pretty much high school, college, into his NFL career, and it's kind of sad to see what happened with him. But yeah, that's what I would say is I would give it probably a 4.6, 4.5.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 4.3, kind of throw it in the middle there out of 5. Yeah, really good documentary. I definitely recommend it. All the Untold documentaries are actually really, really good. So I would definitely recommend checking them all out. But yeah, let's talk into some spoilers here. So this is your spoiler warning. If you haven't seen it and you don't care about it getting spoiled, stay. If you care about getting spoiled, come back.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to be spoiled because it's such a known story.
Such a known thing,
that
but
you don't,
there's a lot of people that don't know
like, it. Yeah, I guess maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
So Logan, giving us your spoiler now review here. What was like the most like surprising thing when you heard about the story back then? Now watching a documentary, because I remember living through it and watching it on the news and stuff like that. Now seeing it in a documentary form, what was kind of the most surprising thing that the documentary had that you didn't know of back then?
So I didn't actually grow up with this story. I started watching football probably the year after this stuff all kind of fell through. But I knew about this. I kind of knew about the story. Kind of didn't. But just kind of like getting more information about who Manti was. It wasn't just like this random athlete that just got catfished. No, this was a stud athlete that was a Heisman Trophy candidate. And to see what Renaya did to him, somebody that should have all these accolades. He should have all these accolades. And I feel like if that didn't happen, I feel like he probably could have been a great linebacker in the NFL if this stuff just didn't happen to him.
Yeah, some would say he would have been a Hall of Fame linebacker had he not had these distractions.
Right. Because in his junior year, he was in the Heisman Trophy talk with Luke Kuechly. And he's for sure going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, he is one of the best linebackers in the NFL. I mean, before he retired. Yeah, but he was one of the best linebackers to ever play. But
I'd agree.
Yeah,
I'd agree.
Looks like D Snuts has commented again. He said, "Hot take, but on the subject of documentaries, I could see new guy Coach Logan starring in a documentary about Obama or something. Logan."
Now I'm curious, who would he star as? Would he be starring as a different Obama type thing, or like
maybe like an aide to Obama or something?
An aide to Obama? Do you like Obama?
Yeah, I think there's some things I liked about him. You know, in 2000, I feel like I would have voted for him in 2008. In my opinion, I feel like the way he presented himself, I feel like I would have voted for him.
So you would have been wrong.
You would have voted for Obama back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in
so he's
2008.
wrong.
Would you agree with your vote today?
Well, it depends on what the country is in right now. Like back then, there was a housing market crash. There was
the
Iraq war was still going on.
Oh yeah,
there are a lot of variables to say that there needs to be a change in direction. I feel like if I was if I was my age at that point, I feel like I probably would have been able to. I would have been swayed to vote for him.
Wow,
that's interesting.
Wow.
Quick question on the talk of politics. When we watched Manti Te'o's documentary, Logan, you had mentioned something that there was a limelight being shed on the individual who was doing the catfishing. Come to find out in the show is that the individual had became transgender. Do you think that was a push for transgenderism in the TV show? Was that a pro transgender or a con?
I don't think so. I think the show made it clear that Renaya was feeling this way at an early age, and you could tell in the Dr. Phil interviews that they show is that he was feeling this way. He kept saying how he wanted to talk about this. So I don't feel like it was a push for a transgender issue. I feel like it was more of just like this person was feeling this way, and this was their escape. But again, the show didn't exactly condemn it, or Renee didn't exactly condemn what she did. It was more of a hey, this was me. This is what I did. Basically, that's what I got out of it.
Yeah. One of the things I did want to talk about this whole show that I think is pivotal. I can't stop talking.
You need to speak better. Oh,
yeah. Shit, you freaking mouth. Is this what's his name? What's the
web?
The guy that Kikua. Linnea, the guy who played Linnea Kikua. What was his name?
Renea?
Linnea. Yeah, Renea.
It's Renea.
Yeah, Renea.
Yeah.
One of the theories I had from this whole thing is that the whole family was involved in this. He's saying that it was just him. But I think from learning from what they talked about their like the whole culture and everything about what's his name? Renea said about their culture is that it's a huge family, and they're very close, which I don't deny. But my theory is that the whole family was involved in it, but Renea took the full fall so that the family wouldn't get any pushback. Any thoughts on that?
But Logan, go ahead.
Any thoughts on that though?
I mean, when the first part of the documentary talked about how Renee, whatever her name was, faked the death that she died from leukemia, and then came back, and Manti asked for proof of her doing that she's actually alive, and so they sent the picture. Renee claimed that it was a friend of hers that sent the picture, and that she had no idea. Like, to me, it's just that's a little fishy in my eyes. I feel like there had to be some knowledge of this happening with Renee. I think Manti was completely oblivious to everything. I think of Renee's part, I think she probably did ask for help for this type of situation.
Yeah, I think I don't think Manti had any knowledge that this was like fake or anything. I think he thought it was completely real until basically when she had called and told him that she was dead, and then all of a sudden she came back and was like, it's me. And I think that right there was the moment that Manti was like, I think this is a hoax. And then he didn't know what a catfish was or anything like that, or whatnot. But yeah, we
got a comment from D Snuts. Yeah. I'm thinking that this guy maybe knows you, Logan. But he said, I was thinking about it, and since he's a Democrat, maybe he should be a supporter during the Obama campaign, then a campaign staff employee during the Biden campaign. Just tossing out ideas here for the documentary. It sounds like this guy knows you a little bit, and I'm all for it. I think that sounds like a great role.
This person just say who they are, so I can get a better understanding of who they are. Maybe
we know who it is. It's D Snuts.
It's D Snuts.
Do you know a D Snuts?
D-E.
I do not. I do not know someone.
Second name Snuts. SNUTTS.
First name D. Second name Snuts.
I do not know someone with that name.
Okay.
And sure, they seem to know you.
Yeah, they said that. They said what they say exactly. They said I was thinking about it, and since he's a Democrat, so he's
So it seems like he
either
knows
assuming
you.
you're a Democrat or he knows that you're a Democrat. One of the two, because he wasn't here for the pre-show.
Yeah, that's true. He was. It sounds like he wasn't for they, Matthew. They.
Sorry, politically correct. Apologize. Logan's here. They don't know. That sounds like a good idea, D-Snuts. Now back to Manti Te'o. What I'm pissed about after watching this whole documentary was that this person cost Manti Te'o not even just Hall of Fame, but millions and millions of dollars. Millions.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to talk about that.
He was projected to be, I think, a top, at least a first-round draft pick. I think they said in the top 10 is what they were expecting with Manti Te'o. And for him to then be taken in the fourth round,
I think it was second round
to the Chargers.
Manti Te'o draft.
But then, I mean, not only ruin his whole career. Yeah, you're right, Matt.
Oh yeah, the second round, correct. I mean, we're talking from pick number 1 to pick number 2. We're talking millions of dollars.
That's millions.
And then pick number 1 to pick 38. We're talking millions of dollars every single year that he's going to be missing out on just because this individual was so selfish that he couldn't handle his own issues without trying to get somebody involved. And that's my biggest problem with my thing is I wish they would have condemned it a little bit more as this transgender thing, is that, individuals who think they're one or think they're somewhere else, it's a narcissistic behavior, right? They want to choose what they are. And their narcissism extends beyond other people. And the choice of Renea to reach out to Manti and catfish him, that all stems from the narcissistic behavior of that individual that, cost this guy a career, cost this guy millions of dollars to set his family up for the future. Now, granted, he is probably still just fine with the money that he made. But still, it's like the opportunity was lost. And that's what pisses me off the most.
Well, that's the thing. Sorry, Logan.
No, go ahead, Regan.
Well, I was gonna say the main thing that I wanted is why hasn't Manti Te'o had seeked defamation? Because this, I would say that this is a class act lawsuit that he could probably win against Renea, because that he can literally show that he would have.
I thought about that too, but the problem is now he's a conspirator to the defamation because he didn't say anything when she had called originally about her being alive after dying. He didn't say anything for a really long time. He just kind of held it in until it finally came out. So he's an accomplice to his own defamation.
I feel like, though, I don't know. I feel that, but I think in the same way he could have, if he had a good lawyer. He had the money. I think a good lawyer could have helped him out.
Yeah,
get some money off of that.
What's your thoughts on that, Logan?
I was just going to piggyback of what Coach Leathers said. It's not that his whole career he could have been a first-round pick. He could have made millions of dollars. It's the fact that it got into his head. That's what screwed him over, is because it made him kept thinking over and over. He kept saying how the first 3 years of him being in San Diego just ruined him. He kept feeling this numbness as a player, and that what the whole situation caused this. And so I feel like if we're going to blame anything, like the defamation, the ridiculing, really it's for what Renea did to him, the feeling of the pain of, I could have had this, and then it was taken away from me.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah, so essentially the show dives deep into the conversations they had. We come to find out that this individual had to practice her voice, and a really, really neat documentary that kind of dives deep into the situation. And I think just based off of everybody's rating here, we had a 4 out of 5 star at least for all three of us. So I would probably safe to say is that we would recommend it to anybody who's wanting to go watch a documentary. It's really cool. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Something that, is a little bit of a shake up here at the Goof and Goober Show. Now
Also,
we're going to get into... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, I also, after that, I watched the Manziel documentary, too.
Oh, yeah.
And that was really interesting. I don't know. I started watching the Florida Gators one, too. Or Swamp... What is that one called?
Swamp Kings.
Did you go over Coach Logan's opinion on catfishing in general yet, or did I miss that part?
No, but we can. What's your thoughts on catfishing, Logan?
Catfishing is a terrible thing. A lot of people are in this world. A lot of people are gullible. Myself
It's
included.
not you. Obvious. You wouldn't be gullible enough to be like.
Not that gullible, but there are people out there that are that gullible, and it's just terrible to just take advantage of someone and manipulate them in that sort of aspect. And it's tough. The problem is though is that there's nothing illegal about it. That's the problem. You can catfish how many people as you want. You can ruin their lives. At the end of the day, they had a choice of keeping the conversation going, and so therefore it's legal to do. And it's just disappointing that people can get away with that. So I think catfishing is just terrible.
What would you do if you were in a catfish scam?
Like if I was getting catfished?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be pretty mad. That'd be the first thing. I'd be pretty mad.
Yeah.
That I wasted my time talking to someone that isn't even real. Or that is real, but they're not saying who they are. And so...
How would you, like, let's pretend for a moment that I am catfishing you. And I am on the phone with you. Oh. What would you say to me?
I would ask to FaceTime, and I think Manti asked that many, many times that they should, and right now I kept saying no. So I would keep saying, look, I want to FaceTime to prove it.
Interesting. So it sounds like you know.
So like let's play a scenario here then. So Logan, you are Logan, and Regan, you are Vanessa.
Okay.
And Logan and Regan, you guys have never seen each other before, ever.
Yep.
And this is a phone call. Logan, you're calling Regan. How would you handle a catfish situation here, Logan? Starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hi, Vanessa. How are you?
It is so good to hear your voice right now, Logan. I have had the worst day of my life. You have no idea. Like, my mom is trying to kick me out of the house, and I am, like, having the worst headache of my life. But, like, for some reason, hearing your voice just makes it so much better. Like, I can't breathe. Like, oh my gosh. How are you, baby?
Look, I've been feeling suspicious for a while. And
I asked you a question of how you were doing.
Well, I'm gonna trade you out with another question.
I asked you a question. You answered the freaking question.
And therefore, I am asking. Look,
who do you think you are?
Who you are for a long time, and I just need to know if you're real. So please, just for my own clarity, for the night, for this phone call to go better, please can we just FaceTime?
Please.
Look,
We just
I already
FaceTime.
told you I have had the worst day of my freaking life, and this is what you want to do is just FaceTime me right now. I just want to talk to you, and now
I
you
am
just
willing
want to.
to lose
What is your
everything
problem?
to prove it.
Why can't
I'm
you
willing
just
to
like
lose.
why can't you just support me as your girlfriend and just support me and listen to me?
Because
You
I
don't
don't know
do
if
that to
you really
any of me.
are my
You don't
girlfriend.
ever do
I
that for
really
me. You
don't
just
know.
won't listen to me. And
I
I'm
don't
just
know that
pouring my
though.
heart out, and here you are
I-
just
Pause,
I'm
trying to.
pause. Move your headphones, Regan. Remove your headphones for a second. You got to speak with some assertiveness, Logan. You got to nut up and talk to her. Let her know how it is.
Yeah.
All right?
All right.
And you can put your headphones back on, Regan. And action.
All right.
Are we back on? Are we back on?
And action.
Vanessa,
Okay,
I am
baby.
dead
I have
serious. If you-
no idea why you're getting
Vanessa,
so
listen.
angry, and I
Talk
just
to me.
have told you
I'm
so
trying
many
to-
freaking
just have
times
to
that
listen
I
to
am
me
dealing
talk.
with something,
Pause.
and you.
Pause. Regan, take your headphones off.
Oh my gosh!
Logan, this is not working. You're supposed to show us how we get out of a catfish situation. Okay? You're supposed to show us. Okay? Here we go. We're going to start again. And let's go. All right, Regan, we're good. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
I am just
Vanessa,
hurt by the
you
things
do
that
not-
you have been
I-
saying, and I have no idea if I even want to talk to you anymore.
5 minutes.
We
If
just,
you
you,
have some
I will
back,
try
take
this
time.
one
We are
more
done.
time.
I
I'm going to
do
call
one
you
with
back,
everything.
and this
I
is
think
better
you are
not
now
be the
a
way
female.
it's going to end
Goodbye.
up.
And scene.
Wow.
Let me tell you what, that was a crapshoot. That was a crapshoot. So ladies, a couple notes here, Logan. Regan, do you have a couple notes for him?
I
I'll
mean,
give
you
mine
just
afterwards.
gotta come out and say it. Are you catfishing me? Are you real? I think at that time you just hang up. You just wanted it seemed like you wanted in on the relationship, Logan. You wanted in no matter who it was, and the person who had control was Vanessa. She had all the control. She was able to hang up and do everything. You just let her just rub herself all over. Yeah, and then
D Snuts, you're saying after the call, coach sends her $50. So I'm gonna assume this is a player. Because he's calling you coach.
possibly. But he's saying after the call, coach sends her $50 to get her nails done.
Yeah, but he's saying coach because he knows this. Yeah. I'm thinking this is
So-
maybe like a Mikey Downs or
Oh,
maybe a Chris Nye.
Pretty no,
A Wam. No, Wamsley's got a different
Guys,
name.
The person's name is D, last name Snuts. What's so
D
hard
Snuts.
to
My bad. Oh,
like-
D Marquise. D freaking Marquise. Could be. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up our first segment here of the Manti Te'o series, The Girlfriend Who Didn't Exist.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy, now he's lagging.
I'm not lagging. I'm just messing with you. I held my pose so good. Will the new guy, Coach Anderson, be back on another? Yeah, whatever. Will the new guy, Coach Anderson? Yeah, he may be on another episode. We'll see. Give a big shout out to Coach Logan Anderson for coming up on the podcast. It is not something. Sorry.
All right, guys. Hey, he's not that big of a deal. He's not that big of a deal, all right? Guys, calm down. Before you go,
Relax.
guys, calm down. Guys,
Hey, shut your freaking mouth in the backfield. Yeah.
Frickin' hey, holy smokes. Hey, Logan, before we go, why don't you plug your socials, like Snapchat, Insta, Facebook, so people know where to, or X as the new kids talk about. What is that all?
So my Instagram is Logan_Anderson_6. And my Twitter is @AndersonCoachLo, so LO.
And like, what about like Snapchat? You got Snapchat so kids can find you there?
I don't use Snapchat no more. I don't ever use that at all.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I saw you use it this last weekend.
What?
I use it for just to see people's stories. I don't ever like post anything on there or do streaks.
I thought you had a snap streak or something.
I gotta ask the question too. I am curious. I am dying to know. How was meeting the parents with your girlfriend?
It was good. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
What they think?
You guys?
What they think of you?
They liked me a lot.
What makes you different than the other boyfriend she had?
That was addicted to her. She was addicted to him.
I feel like what she has told me is that she feels more of herself when I'm around her with her other people around.
And what do you think how does your personality do that?
I feel like I'm a pretty laid back person. You know, if people want to be who they want to be who they are, and be their personality, then I have no problem with that. I feel like I want to be welcoming. I feel like.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we won't ask you any more questions. Are we sure she isn't a catfish as well? I met her in person. I shook her hand. So she is real. I know she is real. So I got your back here, buddy. You ain't getting catfished.
Well, I haven't met her, so I have no idea.
Well, you can rest assured that I saw her, and it's fine.
I don't know
but
who
ladies
to
and
believe
gentlemen,
now.
give us a warm welcome or goodbye to Coach Logan Anderson for coming on the podcast. It's a very scary thing to do, to potentially come on a podcast and not know what's going on. And it was awesome to have you on, Logan, and hopefully we have you in the future. Other than that, we'll freaking see you. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Oh, quick
5:30.
Before it go, I didn't even mention this in the pre-show, but I'm not going to probably be here next Monday. So if Logan and your brother are open next weekend, Matt, I think you should have a show with both of them on. I think that would be a dynamic trio right there.
Ooh. We'll get the details on that for next week. We'll get the details. We'll see what happens. We'll see what gets paved. But anyway, Coach Anderson, have a good rest of your night, brother. We're going to continue with the rest of the show and talking about Star Wars. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
bye, Logan.
No problem. Bye, Logan.
Oh, man. Oh, what a treat. What a freaking treat.
What a freaking podcast with the guy.
Oh,
my
man.
goodness.
What a great guy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to our paid program of Disney's Ashoka series episode 4. And just to pull up here, a non-spoiler review for this really quick. This is a 5 out of 5 for me. This is a really good episode. A lot of action, a lot of good storytelling. We get to build into the characters a little bit more. And man, I'm ready for the next couple of episodes. And we get a freaking nice cameo at the end of the episode. And so, yeah, that's my non-spoiler. Regan, what's your non-spoiler?
Yeah, I'm 100% on board with you. 5 out of 5. This is kind of what we've been wanting as Star Wars fans. The lightsaber battles were phenomenal. The Siths, or the bad guys, or whatever, the protagonists were fantastic. It's what we have been wanting, and it freaking got me hyped. on this show. I hope they can finish this, though. This is a thing that we have been pounding in for Disney. We hope they can just finish here with these next 4 episodes. So that's kind of my non-spoiler. 5 out of 5, though. 5 out of 5. Great.
Easily.
Great episode. Great episode.
So now we're going to jump into some spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, you want to come back and watch it, totally up to you. Episode 4, give you a kind of synopsis. It's part 4, Fallen Jedi. Hera risks her career to help her friends while Ahsoka and Sabine confront enemies. This is starring Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano, Natasha Liu Bordizio, Sabine Wren. We've got Mary Elizabeth as Hera, Syndulla. We got Ray Stevenson as Balin Skoll. And then finally, we've got a little cameo. Hayden Christensen coming back and to reprise his role as Anakin Skywalker.
Oh my gosh.
Let's just jump into that piece. I know it's at the end of the movie, but we'll work our way back. How did it feel to see him back on the screen? We saw him in Obi-Wan. We saw him in episode 3 of Obi-Wan as a young Jedi Knight. Now we see Hayden Christensen interacting with Ahsoka. What's your thoughts, man?
I love the part. I think they did a good CGI on this. This was a great. I went back and rewatched this whole part, and I looked at it and I was like, this is pretty good. This is some good CGI. I think that was my main concern with bringing Hayden Christensen back, because he's obviously gotten older, but I think he did fantastic job, obviously, with just the right off of the bat, the CGI. But this brings back the point with the backstory with the rebels, because you have no idea where Ahsoka is at if you have not watched anything of Rebels or anything like that. If you just watch the movies and maybe some Mandalorian, you have no idea what's going on. No idea where she's at. No idea what the heck is what is this place where she's at? And so that piece is it's somewhat okay, because they got 4 more episodes to explain it, hopefully. But I mean, somewhat you have to explain. You have to be like, okay, she's dead. You can assume that she's dead because she's talking to Anakin, but technically Anakin isn't dead though right now, because it's Vader. So Vader's still alive in this whole premise. So I don't know how you can. I just don't know if you are somebody who has no idea what. And I guess it doesn't even make sense for me, because technically this is the afterlife of Jedis, and this is the main I guess I still don't understand, because I didn't really watch Rebels. And if you didn't really watch Rebels, you have no idea what's going on or where she's at.
Well, if you watch that 30-minute video, you know somewhat a little bit.
Right. You know that this
small
is
period.
Yeah, this is basically the Force. I don't know. But Vader's still alive. I thought this was kind of like the afterlife in some ways. Am I wrong on that, Matt?
So I'm just going to pull this up. What we know about it, right, is that we don't know if Ahsoka's dead, right? That we don't know that. We can only assume based off of what happened.
Because she has, if we watch from that 30-minute video, we know she has been there before and has returned back. So it's not necessarily she's dead.
Yeah. Essentially what we know is that either she's dead or she's not dead, or I mean, she's in the what is it? The like the spirit realm thing. I can't remember what it is, but
it's like
we see it at the end of we see it at the end of Star Wars, the my gosh, the sixth one or the ninth one, or 6, 7, 8, 8, the eighth one. We got New Hope, we got Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back. We see at the end of the movie, we see the spirit ghosts, right? This is kind of similar, but they're in like the spirit plane type thing. And to be honest with you, I don't know. I was just more mesmerized about the fact that Hayden Christensen was back on screen.
Yeah,
and it was him at Revenge of the Sith. That's when they're dating this individual. And so I remember watching this video talking about Darth Vader and Anakin, and the fact that back in Revenge of the Sith, Anakin died. Anakin died, but Vader lived. Right? So Anakin itself, when he turned to the dark side, that's when he died. And so that's why whenever we see him as a spirit ghost, it's him at Revenge of the Sith when he turned to the dark side. That's why you never see him older. That's why you never see him younger in the spirit world. Ever.
Yeah.
You see him as Revenge of the Sith when Anakin died from it'd be like if you were, and I hate to say it, but it's like if how do I say it? It's like if you're a Christian, before you're saved by Jesus, your previous self died, kind of like that.
Yeah.
But essentially, this is backwards, right? Like he goes evil, his past self dies. And so that's why we always see him as the Revenge of the Sith. Look, I don't know what this means for the future. I really don't know. I said this in the last episode, is that this show is exploring things that we haven't seen before, like the big circle ball and it like projecting the universe essentially, other than episode 3 when we see Yoda pull up the Earth, or not the Earth, the galaxy. That's the only time we've ever seen something like that.
My question with that in the whole era that you just kind of brought up with that Anakin died, I thought he technically came back in Revenge, or what was it?
Yeah, but the way I watched it, I think it's Star Wars Theory is the YouTube channel. He's like all he does is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Is that because at the Vader died, it goes back to when he was. How do I explain it? He died. We see Revenge of the Sith, Anakin Skywalker. Now Darth Vader dies. Now we go back to where Anakin was, right? Because that's where he died originally. Does that make sense? I wish I could pull this up.
Yeah, I think it does in some ways. I mean, it was kind of a leading question because I kind of, not necessarily a leading question, but like I kind of had an answer, but not really a full concrete answer. Like my answer is like, okay, but this is like the spirit realm. It's not necessarily they're dead, but like they're kind of just there. It's between the afterlife, like you're dead and you're alive. It's the in between. It's from what I kind of feel like that this whole realm.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Why Anakin's Force Ghost is young. I found the video. Can I play it without getting copyright?
I have no idea.
Well, we're gonna try
not. If you show the whole, like, give them credit. Obviously,
it's only a 3-minute video.
VHS tapes, but Anakin Skywalker. It was originally Sebastian Shaw, the same actor we saw at the end of the film, who died in Vader's suit. In the remastered edition, it was changed later to Hayden Christensen from the prequels. As someone who was a little kid when the prequels came into theaters, I got pretty emotional during this scene, to say the least, because it tied together everything so nicely. However, why did they make Anakin young? I'm going to cover another video of why they didn't make Obi-Wan's ghost young, but for now, let's just stick to Anakin. The reasoning behind this is fairly simple. It comes from an interview with George, where he touched on this topic personally when asked. He had this to say.
This is where he talks about it, and I'm just stalling because I don't want us to get copyright, so I'm just stalling to make sure that doesn't happen.
Is this where George Lucas kind of explains it?
Is the image Jedi had of themselves when they died, and that Anakin died when he became Darth Vader.
I'm curious.
So right there we can see that Lucas was trying to tie in all the films as closely knit as he could, and by putting young Anakin's head onto old Anakin's body, he was able to do this, at least in his vision. I'm going to also add the novelization in there. The piece is from a snippet when Vader dies and Anakin returns. And for those who didn't know, the Return of the Jedi is actually Anakin returning back to the light from Darth Vader.
That's what I thought.
His thoughts were narrated in this piece here. Vader's own sense of anguish to his crimes added guilt at the imagined repugnance of his appearance. But then this brought to mind of the way he used to look, striking and grand, with a wry tilt to his brow that hinted of invincibility, and took in all of life with a wink. Yes, that was how he looked once. So Force ghosts are able to manifest their appearance.
Yeah, that's true. It is a very true statement because there are a lot of different things that that Anakin does that can't be explained usually, you know what I mean? Because there's oftentimes a lot of things
into either themselves or just a voice-like orb floating around. Since this image was the last time Anakin was a Jedi, and from what we know at this point, unless changed by Disney, is that only Jedi can become Force ghosts, of course in canon, then it makes sense for Anakin to return in his younger form. Now, my small theory about this is that we know Lucas had relations with Disney for years before they bought the rights, as he even said in interviews. So perhaps they had a little to say in the matter so that they could bring Anakin back in the future, helping with the continuity and to bring more hype to the films. I want to know what you all think. Are you a fan of Hayden showing up as a Force ghost, or would you rather it be the...
What do you... Make sure you drop his... give him credit, though. I think that's the
hey, shout out Star Wars Theory for that. I'll put it in the I will put it in the description here. I'm gonna edit it and drop it in the description.
Yeah.
I think that kind of explains a little bit of why maybe he is that way. But I'm really curious about the future of it. Let's jump off the soapbox of Hayden Christensen because I'm sure we could talk hours on him returning in the other movies. But let's talk about the fight scenes here in this movie or in this show. We got a couple. We got Sabine Wren fighting the blonde-haired chick. I forget her name. And then we've got Ashoka fighting the freaking the night guy. The black knight guy. We got to talk about that. But let me just talk about the coolest fight I think that happened, and it was a very short period, was the freaking robot fight. That robot fight was pretty freaking sweet. Fight?
I really liked it. You really liked that?
I really liked it.
I mean, it was all right. I think, I don't know. The whole covering of the mouth so it can't yell for help and everything like that. I don't feel like a robot would be able to yell.
Yeah, it is a little bit like meh. Like why would that happen? But I thought it was cool choreography with the robots that we haven't seen. We've seen a lot of goofy looking robot fights in the past, and this was they actually kind of know some fighting moves here. I thought it was pretty cool, but that was just a small piece. Let's talk about the biggest fight. In my opinion, the biggest news is we see Ashoka and the night guy. They're fighting.
Or no,
what's his name?
I forget what the
Malrock, I think is what her name. What his name is?
Freaking the person's name. I thought he was going to be I was wrong. I thought he was going to be the connection between the video game from Jedi. What's its freaking that video?
Fallen Order.
Yeah, Fallen Order, and finally bringing that into the movie, the basically film industry from video game to the film. But I don't think that's it. After watching this whole fight scene, from when
Yeah.
Ahsoka freaking wrecked this freaking boy.
Well,
girl,
now my
whoever it
theory
is.
is out of the friggin' water of him being Ezra Bridger.
Yep.
So that's out of the friggin' water.
Well, that it could be that I think it could be, Matt. They didn't reveal the person, and it like okay, I don't think you should give up on that theory. Why? Because at the end, when it freaking got wrecked and you saw it like decompose, it had like the green mass thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's from like the green is associated with the witch people. Like it's associated with the witch people, whatever.
The
We
Witcher.
didn't-
Yeah.
The witchers or whatever, witches. We didn't get like a full reveal of who that person was.
True.
So we don't necessarily this person could come back and haunt us. So your theory could still be out.
I'd be very surprised.
It would be
But it could
very
happen.
good. It could.
It'd be a very good take on the story, but I was like, oh frick, well, I thought this was gonna be Ezra Bridger, and bada bing, bada boom, no Ezra Bridger.
I mean, they got 4 more episodes, and I feel like if they need to reveal that, they would reveal at the very. It's gotta be like the second to the last. It gotta be episode 7.
Yeah. I coming down to kind of the last little like the fight scenes here, because this, just so you guys know what happens in this episode. Obviously, if you're at this point, spoilers. Last episode, their plane crashes. They land it in the middle of the forest. They basically get found. The people who found them were the Jedi or the Sith, and they came. And basically, this whole episode was basically fighting, which was great. It was a good episode. There was a lot of story building too with it. And after watching the episode, I watched this video talking about the fighting stance that was taken. Because Ahsoka usually has 2 lightsabers, and versus Malarak or whatever his name is, and Balin, she only uses 1 lightsaber. Right. So she knows multiple different forms of white lightsaber wielding, and they were connecting it to Rebels when when Darth Vader and Ahsoka had fought at the end of Rebels. Apparently, there was this big fight scene, and she had learned that fighting people within smaller quarters isn't the style that she needs to be using with the 2 lightsaber thing that she was doing. So she switched her stance, and I thought that was pretty cool, not knowing anything about the stances or anything like that, or like forms of fighting, but you realize that the way Malrak or whatever his name is and Balin, the way they fight, the only way she could have won was by fighting with one lightsaber. She actually would have lost had she used both, because of tight quarters and like the power of the blows that they were giving. She wouldn't have been able to win. And so I thought that was really cool. I'd like to get into knowing more about that stuff, because during the whole time I don't know about you, but on that those last 2 fights, I was like, you have 2 lightsabers.
Yeah.
What the freaking lightsabers?
I was wondering the same thing. But what you just said kind of makes more sense. It's kind of harder to. In some ways, though, I feel like a second lightsaber makes it just a lot easier to attack somebody with just 1 lightsaber, because you're holding it from here, and then you just use this one and just slice them.
But if they're doing, he was using like a 2-handed. Like he was like a long sword type, like big butcher sword type.
Balin and what's his? Yeah, and
yeah.
My favorite. I'm going to say this is. I think Balin's lightsaber duel with Ahsoka was my favorite. I am so saddened. I mean, obviously, right off the bat, that Ray Stevenson he's no longer with us. Yeah, and he passed right away. Yeah, but he, I think, he does such a fantastic job with this role of Balin, and the costume designs, and just the,
it's like straight Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and his and like the way he wields that saber is more just that medieval thing that we were talking about last week. Is just that medieval feeling, a vibe that you're getting from these Siths, and I freaking love it so much. And I'm so saddened to know that it's just, we're not going to get more.
I think he's going to get killed Stevenson
at the end. 100%.
They're going to have to.
I mean, they're going to have to, because it's just one season. So I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen after this. I think Ahsoka's going to have to die, because she's got to die somehow.
Yeah. I think she might too. I don't know. I think they're gonna find Ezra Bridger, and she's gonna have to sacrifice herself. I said that on the last episode. She's gonna have to sacrifice herself for something. The other thing I want to talk about is the whole premise of the show, or a whole premise of this episode, was that Balin and Elizabeth. Oh my gosh, Ahsoka TV show.
Hera. What do you mean, Elizabeth? Oh,
what is her name? Where is she? Oh, sorry, Morgan Elsbeth. Balin Skoll, and Shin Hati, is that they're trying to use the circle ball thing to find the coordinates of Thrawn. And so we come to the end of the episode essentially, and Ahsoka and Sabine, they get the ball out of the transmitter or whatever, so that way they can't find the coordinates. And then we come down to this, honestly, in my opinion, one of the dumbest ways of writing it is that Sabine just gives up the ball, the coordinates to Thrawn, because Balin uses Ezra Bridger as a crutch for her. And I just get the feeling, and maybe this is the lack of us watching Rebels, is that, to me, these first 4 episodes, Sabine just doesn't seem like a person to just give that up like that. Even with, trying to talk her into it, like, it just doesn't. It was just a little off-putting, in my opinion. And again, maybe I'm wrong because I haven't seen Rebels enough. I don't know the relationship she had with Ezra to be able to say, hey, she would definitely give up this freaking thing for Ezra. I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah, I didn't really. Yeah, I think so. Because in the very beginning of episode 1, she seemed like a very big rebel against pretty much, and she's not afraid of authority. Mm-hmm. But here she is faced with a very high authority and is wanting to, is basically faced with the death of Ahsoka, and then a higher power, basically, of Balin. In some ways, not necessarily the high power, like a higher power in the sense of God.
Comparatively to her.
Comparative, yeah, exactly. And she is just scared, doesn't know what to do. And I don't know. I feel like, as well as she feels somewhat, she won the battle between her and Shin, the other Sith Lord, whatever, or not Sith Lord, but the Sith. Yep. In some ways she felt she won, but in some ways she felt she lost. And so I felt like she has somewhat of power in her that she could actually like do something. So yeah, I think I agree with you, because she just basically came off of a win and then came to see that Ahsoka died. Yeah. And so if I was her, and they just got done talking about to Ashoka, like if we can't win, no one can. Like we agree that if we can't find Ezra, we can't allow anyone else to find Ezra. And in some ways too, though, that he's played with her heart. I don't know. It's a hard thing to really dive into, because
it's a whole psychological battle, I think.
Yeah.
It'd be really hard to digest, but I just think, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm looking at it too critical, but I'm just like, I don't know. I just got the feeling that she wouldn't be that type of person. Just be like, hey, here you go, Merry Christmas, and then head off. But maybe she has a plan moving forward. I don't know. But it essentially brings the episode, after that battle, it brings that episode to a halt. We know that they're heading off to go get Thrawn to essentially find him, and they're going to start another war. And we got episode number 5 coming out tomorrow night. Yeah. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm really liking this show. I really am hoping at this point they don't pull a Secret Invasion where the first 4 episodes are really good and then it just craps the bed.
Yeah.
Really hoping not. But I'm really excited for the future. But other than that, any final thoughts, Regan, before we head off for the day? It's been a long podcast.
It has been. No, I have no thoughts. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, seriously, guys, thanks for watching. If you want to catch Coach Logan, coming back on the podcast, leave a comment down below. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitch, on the Twitter, the Facebook, the Apple Podcast. We're everywhere at the Goof and Goober Show. Pretty much everywhere you could think of, we're there. So leave us a comment, subscribe, and on to the next, boys. I look forward to seeing you next Monday, 8 o'clock. We're going to be doing episode 5 of the Ashoka series. I guess Regan's going to be out, but we're going to do episode 5. We might have an extra guest on, see who might want to come on. But until then, see you next week.
Peace. And that's a wrap on another hilarious and unforgettable episode of the Goof and Goober Show. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did recording. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our future goofiness. Join us next time as we continue to explore the weird and wonderful world of laughter and entertainment. Remember, you can always connect with us on social media and share your favorite moments using hashtag Goof and Goober Show. Until next time, stay goofy, stay goober, and keep spreading smiles wherever you go. Thanks for tuning in to the Goof and Goober Show with Matthew and Regan.